Welcome back, Interior Alaska. Fred Brown holding down sports duties on this Saturday. We held off on snow as long as we could, but now it's here, and so it's only appropriate that we start this cast off on the frozen pond. As the Fairbanks Ice Dogs are on the road and visiting the home of their former division rival, the Wenatchee Wild. The reunion of enemies wasn't how Fairbanks wanted things to go, as the Wild jumped out to an early 2-goal lead in the first period. The Dogs would put on the pressure, firing 38 goals on net when all was said and done, but it wouldn't be enough. The Wild extended their lead late in the second, and the Dogs came out in the third with a furious run, but it wasn't to be, as they fall 3-2 final. Staying on the ice, but moving to the college level as the Alaska Nanooks played host to Northern Michigan last night at the Carlson Center. My weekday doppelganger Joe Cook was in attendance for the Nooks' first conference game in the Western Collegiate Hockey Association.
Both teams looking for wins in their WCHA debuts, and the Nanooks will make their case first, with the Morley brothers making it happen for the Nooks. Tyler Morley scored on a power play with a blue liner, beating Michael Doan for the first score of the game at 12:44. A couple of minutes later, little brother Brandon scores his first career goal after the assist from Fairbanks' own Alec Hadukovic, his first point of the season. 2-0 Nanooks. The teams would go 2 for 2. Stefan Vijay put the Wildcats on the board with 2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the first period. Then less than 5 minutes into the second stanza, number 22 Adair scored the equalizer to make it a 2-2 game. Then later in that second period, Garrett Perry takes a bad spill into the boards. He would be okay. Northern called for a 5-minute major boarding call, and then 30 seconds later, a tripping call, so the Nanooks can cash in on a 5-on-3 advantage, and they would with a Marcus Bassar goal, 10:35 in the second period, 3-2 Nanooks. Northern was called for another penalty right after Bassar's score. The Nooks still have a 5-on-3 advantage. 45 seconds elapsed, and Colton Beck scores back-to-back power play goals for UAF, making it a 4-2 game. Lots of firsts for UAF in this one, because with 3 minutes remaining in the second period, Nolan Heisman finds Sean Hochhausen for his first career goal. Nanooks lead 5-2, scoring 3 unanswered to close out that second period. But the Wildcats clawed their way back late in this one. CJ Ludwig, the team captain, he scored with less than 5 minutes remaining on a power play to make it a 5-3 game, so it's not over yet. Then Adair, he strikes again, his second goal of the game with 2 minutes left, 5-4 Nanooks. But UAF, with their stout defense, would bring this one home, getting a 5-4 victory in their WCHA debut.
Those power play goals were huge last night. And while the season is still very young, it's a huge area of improvement. One of the glaring points of weakness on the past year's Iceman squad was UAF's inability to capitalize on the man advantage. In 180 power plays last season, the Nooks only found twine on 26 of those attempts for a 14.4% success rate. For the 2011-2012 season, things were only slightly better, converting on 26 of 164 attempts for a 16% success rate. However, so far this season, the Nooks have vastly improved, depositing 8 goals on 32 power plays, succeeding 25% of the time.
Execution, and I thought both units did a real good job. I mean, one was a rebound goal, and the other one, we talk a lot on the power plays that, you need to create some positive momentum from them, and usually it's by outworking the other team, and generally chances will come off of that. And if you look at Colton's goal, I mean, it was a great shot, first of all, but I mean, Ray and Heis did a heck of a job winning that battle and scooting it up to Michael Quinn. And we talk all the time is that established control of the puck is the first thing we need to do. So the guys worked hard on those loose pucks, and then they make a skilled play and score. So I mean, specialty teams are really important. I mean, for the most part, I thought our discipline was good.
And a little pigskin tomorrow night right here on KTVF features one team that's on top of its game and another trying to find some rhythm.
Welcome to the set. Football Night in America. Dan Patrick, Tony Dungy, Rodney Harrison. 2 teams coming off a bye week. Texans certainly could use it. Colts got a bye week as well. Thoughts going into this matchup? More on the Texans trying to salvage a season, or the Colts?
It's both, and both teams have question marks. For the Texans, who's going to be your quarterback? Case Keenum gave him a lift, but Matt Schaub got healthier. For the Colts, who replaces Reggie Wayne? You lost not only a great player, but a leader And so that becomes a big question over the bye.
And that's the big question for me, because you look at Reggie Wayne, you talk about his leadership and his impact. And my big question is, when it comes down to a critical moment, maybe a 3rd down and 5, who's that guy that's going to go across the middle? Who's going to make that tough catch in the red zone? And that's the big question for me.
Well, it's one thing to replace running backs, Vic Ballard. They've had injuries there, but Reggie is one of those fixtures. It's kind of hard, and you coached him. His role as a leader is it more on Andrew Luck?
It will be more on Andrew. And Reggie was one of those guys who, he's going to give you 100 catches, but he's also going to go out there and practice on Mondays after tough games and show those young receivers how to do things, and they're going to miss that.
But you say it's more on Andrew Luck, but shouldn't it be more on Trent Richardson? They traded for him. They brought him over there, and he's flat point blank. He's been a disappointment. He has not been a Trent Richardson that we expected him to be.
What about the Texans? What are you playing for?
Pride? No. You can still, that second wild card in the AFC, all it's going to take, Dan, it might only take 8 wins. So, you're sitting there over your bye and saying, you know what, we get this thing together. We're playing good defense. If we can just play offense close to what we're capable of, we can get back on this thing with a couple of wins in a row.
Colts at the Texans Sunday night on NBC. We will see you on Football Night in America at 7 Eastern.
And that will be a wrap on my time tonight. I might be out, but we're not done, so don't go anywhere, because I have to yell at Holly for causing the roads to be so terrible. That rant and weather is coming up next.